Down in Wakulla County lies a 6-acre plot of land dedicated to rescuing and rehabilitating all kinds of wild animals. And they have a lot of wild animals.
Swallowtail kite, 2 red-tails, possum, barn owl, red fox.
Red fox.
White-tailed deer, 2 ferrets, raccoons, a skunk, barred owls, pelicans.
Is he going to snap at me?
He shouldn't. I wouldn't say he won't, though.
This is the Florida Wild Mammal Association. Chris Beatty is the executive director of this nonprofit, and she was kind enough to show us around and explain what goes on there.
This is a baby bird nursery, and it's manned. This is the building that takes the most amount of time, even though it's very small. The birds start to be fed from sunup, and they have to be fed till sundown. So we have young Mississippi kites, which there's 2 of them. That one has a broken wing, and then there's another one that's right here, and he was an orphan. This is a cattle egret, and he was actually stuck in the wire at the corrections facility in Franklin County, and he had a fractured leg and fractured wing and multiple lacerations. He's actually ready for release, so if we get a chance today and the weather holds up, we may just take him out today. This baby pelican, we are trying to get out with an adult because it is definitely going to have a problem if we don't get it with someone pretty soon. Right. He's about 8 to 9 weeks old. And just starting to associate his fish, and we want to get him with an adult as soon as possible. He can't fly yet. His feathers aren't all the way in. So we take him outside and, rinse him down and give him flight time outside. These are young screech owls. We raised them from little chicks, and they are about ready to go in the hack-out cage, and they'll be going to a different piece of property to be let go in a fashion called soft release, where we're releasing them out of a cage that they'll be continued to be fed for a while. You see a little bopping of the head where it goes around and around. He's judging distance, and that's what part of his learning process. This is a young osprey.
Now this guy was just standing up a minute ago.
Yes.
And he looked pretty robust.
He was one of the 3 ospreys that fell out of the nest at St. George's after a terrible storm, and he was the weakest, youngest one, and they were picking on him, so when we put the others back up in the nest, he stayed. He would not have survived.
Can you stand up, Mr. Osprey? Come on, stand up.
Here.
There you go. He looks a lot.
Yeah.
He looks better there.
Yeah. They sleep, when they're young, sleep straight on their face with their legs stretched out. It's really cute.
I've never seen them.
What these are is basically rabbit hutches that we've renovated, putting a screen inside to make up for the baby birds. So that when the baby birds are ready and they start eating on their own, we can bring them out here, leave them in these cages for a couple of weeks, make sure that they continue eating on their own and they get acclimated to the outside. Then we open the doors and the feed goes on top of the roof, and they can come back as often as they want to. There's a young fawn in here, and his mom got hit by a car over by Wildwood Country Club. There's also another fawn here that's a little older, and we're trying to get her to start eating on his own a little bit, because we'd like to move him out with the others, and you seem to have done a good job. Hey guys, it's just us.
So these guys they're large enough that they're not inside. I mean, now they've moved out to this pen, and they're going to get to go out to this large area pretty soon.
Yeah, within the week. These are barred owls.
So it looks dark in here, but the point is this is what keeps them from
damaging their wings.
And that's pretty much all large birds of prey that are going to fly in an enclosure.
Any kind of bird of prey. And we don't have, right now, we don't have adequate caging. Every day, every cage gets raked. Twice a week, the pools get changed out. Every day, the deck gets scrubbed. Every day, each cage gets done.
You may have noticed they have a lot of birds for a group that calls themselves a mammal association. But the bottom line is that the FWMA is going to do whatever they can to help just about any wild animal that needs it.
we're taking in close to 1,000 animals every year now, and that's without a tropical storm or a hurricane. If we were to get either one, that number would increase dramatically. And what people don't realize, it's not like a dog or cat shelter where you can get a load of dog food in and you fed everybody. Each thing eats something different. The birds of prey eat, you know, chicks and mice, and those have to be bought. The pelicans eat fish. The deer eat horse feed with apples and pears. The feed bills are phenomenal. Even in worms, we go through about $250 every 10 days in worms.
Holy cow.
Yeah. We pretty much offer our services 24 hours a day. You cannot come out and visit the facility because it's not a zoo, it's a rehab center, and we don't want the animals to become too accustomed to all sorts of people walking up to the cages and things. Plus it's against our permits. But we are available for emergencies. You can drop animals here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Now remember that cattle egret that Chris told us was ready to be released? Well, as luck would have it, the good weather held up. And now, there's one less bird staying at the Florida Wild Mammal Association.
There he goes.
For WFSU, I'm Mike Plummer.